Market update time, so let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, let's get into a quick market update. Let me show you what I'm seeing on the charts. And as you guys know, right, that I am nowhere near a perfect trader. There is no such thing as a perfect trader. What I do is I say, okay, what is happening with these markets? What's really going on with these markets? So I draw trend lines, I look at indicators and so on and so forth. I look at the weekly charts, daily charts, hourly charts. I always look at a lot of different charts and say, what is this market really doing? Are we still getting ready for more upside? Or are we at an area of resistance where it could pull back? What's the overall picture telling us right now? So let's actually start off with the Russell. I want to start off the Russell first. The Russell was the one that had the biggest update, which was only 0.3%. Wasn't really a big update. Now, if I show you this line through, if I show you this weekly chart, forget these indicators here for the minute down the bottom here, okay? Just forget them for the minute. What I want to show you is this. Can you see how this market's ran up through there and now it's just slowly crawling up into this area of this overall major area of resistance? So we may get a little bit more upside, but guess what also is coming into play too on the Russell? That there as well. So that's actually quite a bearish sign. And as you can see, even on the weekly chart, we're getting the stochastics over here. So that's actually, last time I was there, you can see many weeks after we started having a decent pullback. So where we are right now, we're actually at this major area of resistance on the Russell. We're still at that area of resistance on the Russell. And that's the reason why I want to show you that on the weekly chart. Now on the daily chart, you can see once again it's been channeling up, and now we're actually at that top area of resistance. If I open this chart right up, you can see how it just basically a nothing day, a bit of a sideways nothing day, and then obviously not really much happening on there. Now one thing I do want to show you is something that obviously has been spotting out for quite some time, and you watch things, the market will start to come into play. I've noticed this time and time again. If the market is going up, especially like this, especially when we get a market like that, and then the market just slowly crawls up, what I call strong buyers into weak buyers, that to me is actually what I call a bullish looking reversal flag. To me, that's actually more down than up. That's actually bearish. But when I start to see the momentum on the stochastics and also the RSI, they're the two indicators I like to use overall when I'm trying to gauge what's happening. You can see how the market's going up, but stochastics are going down, RSI is going down. Momentum's starting to shift here. So it's just a matter of time before this starts to roll over and to give us at least a little bit of a pullback. Who knows how big that pullback is? But if you're looking at at least a 50% pullback, 50 to 60% pullback, that's what the normality is there. So I see this market pulling back into the range of this through here. Now, here's what I do say, is that if the market does, when the market starts to break down, if the market starts to hold here and it breaks down, if it starts to break past this 102 level, so we start to close below this 102 level, then new lows for the year are coming. That's what I'm thinking anyway. That's on the Russell. Let's go have a look at the Dow Jones. Now, one thing I want you to keep your eye on, guys, when looking at these markets, is something I've been saying for quite some time, and it's something really interesting. Now let me show you this here on the Dow Jones chart. You can see I've got trend lines everywhere, but I'm trying to gauge what's actually happening here on this market. Okay, so bear with me here for a minute. Oh, I love doing this charting, I really do. Look at this here. Firstly, we can see that we had this major trend line coming to the high side through here. Okay, if you look on the daily chart, you can see how the market bounced there, couldn't close below there, couldn't close below there, and it closed below there. Now the market's running up. What is this now area? This area is now resistance. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and now this whole area of resistance, which also leads into that point through there. That's the thing I want you to notice, okay? That's the thing I want you to notice, is that it's actually going through there now, okay? So we are at a double area resistance. It had support, you know, support and resistance change rolls. But not only that, but if I bring you a bit forward, you can actually see how this parallel trend line, it's actually in this what we call basically an extended parallel trend line. So that's where we're at right now. But not only that, but look at this. This is something I want to share with you. We're actually starting to get a bit of divergence on our stochastics, our RSI. You can see like a little divergence on the RSI. All right. So once again, guys, I'm not very big on indicators. Okay, please. I am 90% price action, 90% this here, the chart, 10% indicators. Always remember that. Okay. But sometimes the indicators can give you a bit of a guidance on what's actually happening. So that's happening through there. And obviously we're getting the stochastics where they are right now. We're getting the long term up. We're getting this long term up through here, and we're getting this faster term actually going down through there. Let me see if I can change my trend line tool here. All right, so let's go color. Let's go blue. Okay, so you can see this getting this faster up, slow stochastic up, slow stochastic down. You can see what happened here last time. As the market started to do that, we started to pick back up through there. So we can see how this market's had just an enormous run to the high side. We can see that. But one thing I also want you to show you guys is it was basically a nothing day. But I also want to share with you the volume. Look at the volume in yesterday's bar. Nothing going on, but there was a lot of volume through there. Guys, that's a weak sign. We're at all these major areas of resistance. All the indicators are saying we're getting ready for a pullback. We know we're due for a pullback, and we get a big volume. Come on. This volume here towers over everything that's happened for the last week. And you can see it had like a couple of little volume spikes here. Forget this volume spike. That was the triple witching day, so don't even class that volume. But you can see this towering volume where we are right now. That's a key, guys. That's the key sign that things are now starting to getting ready to turn around. Go to the S&P 500, and what do we have on the S&P 500? We have the same thing on the stochastics. We're getting like this double sort of stochastics here. RSI. We're getting the same thing happen here. Support all the way up on the S&P 500. Bam, bam. And now what happened? Now we're rejecting at that level through there. Interesting, right? Really interesting. And now we're actually in this sort of reversal type flag as well. If I bring up the weekly charts, you can see where the stochastic is too. Last time the stochastic got up there, guess what happened? We started the rollover and eventually started coming back down to new lows. Are we at that level right now? Well, this market where it's run up through here and they're slowly running up through there, down we go, down. Now it may not happen tonight, but over the next week, I think we're going to start. I think next week's going to be a very bearish week for us. That's what I'm saying. So let's go back to the daily chart here. We can see where the stochastics are right now as well too. But once again, guys, look at that volume. Look at the volume. The volume is towering. If I bring that up through there, you can see there's a towering volume. We try to actually push. Now, that volume there was from the, Janet Yellen, whatever her name is, Fed pushing it up and doing the speech. But then suddenly what comes? At an equal volume, at an area of resistance, and pretty much a slight down day, guys. That's showing that there's a lot of that is actually showing that there's a lot of people now starting to sell into this market, because the last couple of times we haven't gotten big decent volume spikes. Now this is not a big volume spike, but we're actually now getting a decent volume move through there, and the same for the obviously the SPY as well too, but also the Nasdaq. What's happening with the Nasdaq? The Nasdaq is definitely not much on the stochastics, but the RSI. But look at that there. Look at that divergence that's now starting to play out. And then we had this run up through there. We're now at this top area of resistance. Bit of small down day, bit of a small up day. But once again, guys, look at the volume. Again, volume is starting to really increase where we are right now, and holding through there, guys. That's actually a very weak sign. So all in all, guys, especially if I go back to the Dow Jones chart, all in all, guys, it looks really weak where we are right now. And I'm telling you now, guys, let me see if I can bring up my let me bring up the VIX here for a minute. I want to show you what I see on the VIX. The VIX, what's happening with the VIX? The VIX, it's really interesting, right? We're actually starting to get a slight, so we've got this sort of remember I said before about my stochastic. If the slow is down and the fast is building and going above it, that's actually building strength through here. But look at the RSI. RSI is already starting to build up a bit of divergence, and we're at these all major time lows. So giddy up, all right? Giddy up, more upside. That's actually probably leading to more upside. And also, let me have a look at this right here as well too. So same thing as the TC, as the advanced decline line. What's happened to the advanced decline line? Same thing. We had this big strong run up. We've had this really slow move to the high side. This here is what I call a bullish looking, because it looks like a bullish flag, but it's actually a reversal flag. You watch, guys. Over the next week or so, we're going to start to get this sort of action. This here is a clear sign that the buyers are running out of steam, and especially when we're starting to get this on the indicators and this on the indicators, things are definitely not working out the way that they are. Yeah, it's definitely no evidence here for more bullishness anyway. This is actually setting up for a lot more downside to come. So, anything else? Anything else, guys? Testing, 1, 2, anything else? Let's have a look here. Let's go to silver. So we'll have a look at silver as well. Silver looks like it's trying to build a bit of a bottom here before we go back up. Let's go to the transportation average. Transportation average, once again, guys, is actually starting to falter out as well too. Looks like it's creating the very first lower peak here. Not much volume on the transportation average, by the way, but we're getting divergence as well too on the indicators. And we'll just go to gold. Gold looks like it wants to try and hold here for a little bit and then maybe move to the high side. So we are at this over area support level. If it does break that support level, then we have this whole support level. This is the GLD. This is the trust. $114 is where it probably has pretty good support before. If it does break down, then it looks like the buyers might want to come into there. Long term overall, guys, you can see that we are now starting to overall. We've definitely started to break some long term down key trend lines, and we're now starting to break some major. This is the first major higher peak in a long time. So gold has changed overall. We've got this trough, peak, double bottom, higher trough, a swing down. This went down through there. We had this peak, we had this trough, not really a trough, sideways, trough, peak, trough, bit of a slight double bottom, then it broke up, and then we had this higher peak. So that's the very first higher peak, guys, in years. So that tells me that the overall major gold trend is now changing. Even if it does get a little bit of a pullback, then we're likely to start heading back up to at least 130 on the GLD on that market there. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great day. Speak to you later. Hey, it's John Howell here, and thanks so much for watching my video. You see, I'm putting out daily videos and education on helping you learning the art of successful trading. So click on the subscribe button to keep up to date with every video I do. Also, check out my story video, $250,000 in debt, cancer, overweight, family passing away, lived on the streets, and more, and how I overcome it and now thriving through my life. This is here to motivate you, so click on that image to watch my video. And lastly, if you're struggling with your trading, then you need to see my latest webinar where I'm sharing with you an amazing strategy that allows you to generate an income without getting the direction right. So click on that image on this page to register for my next free webinar. This is John Howell here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.